Y'all, you probably think the Toronto Blue Jays are done making moves after that heartbreaking World Series loss to the Dodgers. But hold up, Blue Jays Nation, can you believe this bombshell? We're talking $50 million in extra revenue that's about to flip our entire offseason upside down. Today, we reveal the aggressive spending spree that could finally bring home that championship we've been craving since '93. But here's the kicker. Kyle Tucker might be wearing blue and white sooner than you think. If you're bleeding blue and white like me, smash that like button right now and hit subscribe because this offseason is about to get wild, and you don't want to miss a single move that could define the next decade of Blue Jays baseball. Let me paint the picture for you. We just came off the most painful loss in recent memory, Game 7 of the World Series, extra innings, against the Dodgers. That sting is still fresh for every single person in Jays Nation. But here's what the front office knows that casual fans don't. That deep playoff run just handed us the financial firepower to go all in like never before. Think about where we stand right now. We've got Vladimir Guerrero Jr. locked up long-term, George Springer still bringing that veteran leadership, and a young core that just tasted October baseball for the first time. Our rotation showed flashes of brilliance, but we all know we need that extra arm to push us over the top. The bullpen held its own, but championship teams don't settle for good enough. Here's where it gets frustrating for us fans who've been through the rebuild, the false starts, and the what-if seasons. We've watched this organization talk about spending, promise aggressive moves, and then settle for bargain bin additions while the Yankees and Red Sox load up on superstars. But this time feels different, and I'll tell you why. The insider reports are buzzing with one name that's got every GM in baseball nervous: Kyle Tucker. This isn't some washed-up veteran looking for one last payday. We're talking about a guy who just put up elite numbers, brings that left-handed power we desperately need, and fits perfectly into our championship window. When Bob Nightingale drops a report saying we're the favorites to land Tucker, you better believe the rest of the AL East is taking notice. But wait, there's a twist coming that makes this even more interesting. That $50 million windfall isn't just sitting in some corporate account. Ownership is reportedly committed to reinvesting every penny back into the roster. Think about what that means. We're not just talking about one big signing. We're talking about the flexibility to extend Bichette, add rotation depth, and still have room to make a splash in free agency. Now here's where it gets really exciting for us long-suffering fans. Remember when we had that magical run in the early 2010 seconds? Jose Bautista launching bombs, Edwin Encarnacion driving in runs, and the Rogers Center absolutely electric during playoff games. That energy, that belief, that sense that anything was possible, we're on the verge of capturing that again, but with a roster that's even more complete. The Bichette situation is fascinating because it shows how serious management is about building something sustainable. Reports suggest he's looking at a deal north of $200 million, and instead of balking at that number, the organization seems ready to make it happen. That's not the old Blue Jays approach. That's a franchise that understands you don't let homegrown superstars walk away when you're this close to a championship. Before we continue, if you're as pumped about this offseason as I am, show some love by hitting that like button and dropping a comment about which free agent you want to see in a Blue Jays uniform this winter. But here's the kicker that has me most excited. The timing of all this couldn't be more perfect. We're not talking about a rebuild or a retool. We're talking about a team that was literally one win away from a World Series title, making aggressive moves to get back there. That's a completely different mentality, and it should terrify every other team in the American League. Look at what other contenders are doing this offseason. The Brewers are talking about cost control despite a great season. The Tigers want to keep payroll flat while hoping young guys take another step forward. Meanwhile, we're sitting here with ownership saying, here's $50 million extra, go get the pieces we need to win it all. The Kyle Tucker pursuit isn't just about adding another bat, it's about sending a message. It's telling Vladimir Guerrero Jr. that we're serious about surrounding him with talent. It's showing Bichette that this organization will do whatever it takes to win, and it's putting the entire league on notice that the Blue Jays aren't going anywhere. Think about what our lineup could look like with Tucker in the mix. You've got Vlad Jr. anchoring the middle of the order, Tucker providing that consistent left-handed power, and suddenly pitchers can't just attack our righties. Add in Bichette at the top of the order and George Springer's veteran presence, and we're talking about an offensive attack that could rival anyone in baseball. The rotation is where things get really interesting because we've seen what this group can do when everything clicks. But championship teams need depth, and that extra revenue gives us the flexibility to add a proven veteran who can eat innings and provide stability. We're not talking about gambling on reclamation projects anymore. Here's what the next few weeks could look like if everything falls into place. Tucker signs that massive deal and immediately becomes the face of our offseason. Bichette gets his extension done, providing stability at shortstop for the next decade. We add rotation depth with a proven veteran, and suddenly we're not just hoping to make the playoffs, we're planning another World Series run. The most encouraging part about all this isn't just the money, it's the mentality. This feels like an organization that finally understands its window and is willing to do whatever it takes to maximize it. No more half measures, no more "we tried," this is championship or bust thinking. Now, here's what I want to hear from Jays Nation. Which move would make you most excited this offseason? Landing Kyle Tucker, extending Bo Bichette, or adding a frontline starter? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this community is what makes following this team so special, especially during moments like these when everything feels possible. Y'all, this offseason could be the one we've been waiting for since those back-to-back championship seasons in the 90 seconds. The pieces are in place, the money is there, and most importantly, the commitment from ownership seems real. If you're as hyped as I am about what's coming, smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, because we're going to be covering every single move, rumor, and signing that could bring another championship banner to Toronto. Blue Jays Nation, our time is coming, and it's going to be beautiful.